Hi guys, how's it going? Caitlin here and welcome to my kitchen for the best day of the week, prep day. I know, so exciting. This is a day though, in all seriousness, that you do it, you love yourself later for it, because throughout the week when you're really busy, you can just reach into your fridge, you grab the stuff and you throw it all together and then magic just happens and your family is fed and everybody's happy and healthy, right? That's what everybody wants. So this week, what's on the menu? Let's see, we got spaghetti and meat sauce. So I'm gonna have my own recipe for pasta sauce, just in case you don't have one. If you do have one, use that, and then it should be a nice, easy day. We have a Mexican quinoa bowl, which is actually, it's a vegetarian dish. If you want to have it non-vegetarian, then you could do that as well. You could add in chicken broth or add in some chicken or whatever. You know what, go wild. We're gonna have French onion chicken bake with whatever side you happen to want to have with it. Thai chicken stir fry salad and sweet and smoky turkey burgers to finish off the week. So how does that sound? Sound good? Okay, let's go for it, shall we? All right, got my prep board already with my little junk bucket and my good bucket. So I am going to start by remembering my garlic. Here, how did I do? Okay, so I'm gonna dice an onion, I'm gonna dice a pepper, and I'm going to dice a clove of garlic at the same time, because those are all going to go into my my pasta sauce together. So I'm actually gonna do all these at once, put them in the same container, and then I can literally dump that in my skillet tomorrow when I'm making it for supper. So if you're with me, then you can grab your onions, start cutting, start peeling. Maybe you're way ahead of me, and maybe you're already doing this. Look at you, Keener, just getting ahead for prep day. Really though, prep day, it's something that I've learned to like, because you can set the time when you do it. So it's not during the time when the kids are all going like squirrely. And it means less dishes. Because otherwise I'd be cutting with this cutting board every day of the week. Now I'm not. I'd be cleaning this knife every day of the week. Now I'm not. So it definitely cuts down the dishes. I cleaned this one time today. My dishwasher is empty. We're gonna receive all this stuff. I'm gonna chop the onion now. This food chopper is honestly one of my favorite little prep tools. You can cut everything as small or as big as you want. But I find my rates of success are better for incorporating vegetables into the meal with the kids if I cut them small. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I even have better luck incorporating the vegetables if I'm cutting them small for myself, because there's some veggies that I'm not a huge fan of, like maybe texture or something like that, but then if I cut them up real small, then it's okay. There we go. One chopped onion. Now, all of my peppers that I have are currently sliced and frozen. So I am just going to guess that a couple good handfuls will give me a pepper. And these peppers I have been living on since the fall, when they were on a ridiculous sale, and I processed them all then and I have not regretted it a day since. Chop this pepper. I have to look at that and decide whether it's worth bending down to pick it up, or just seeing if the dog will take it after. Might not seem like a big decision, but this belly is getting bigger by the day, and the floor feels like it's getting further and further away, my friends. It's no joke. Once it goes to the floor, I'm like, well, we've had a good ride. Peace. Here we go. Now I'm gonna get a clove of garlic. And I mean, you could press this. I am just going to chop it with the food chopper while I have it here. You could mince it. There's so many different ways that you can process garlic, so you do the one that works for you in your pasta sauce. This is like the most stubborn peel I've ever met in my entire life. I think I got it. Whew. Add that to the floor with the other mystery thing. Chop that up good and small. There we go. Now, I have 1 container of veggies that is ready to go for my pasta tomorrow. That's gonna make it even faster and even easier. I'm gonna love myself for that. Okay, we're gonna do another couple things here. I am going to, you know what? We're going to slice up, I have a red onion to slice up. It was supposed to be a small red onion, but I always order my groceries for pickup. And you can't really choose your size that way. So they were quite generous with the size of this. I need to slice up red onion and regular onion. So since this is the mother of all red onions and it's like the size of my face, I think I'm gonna cut up half of it. Although I'm tempted to cut up the whole thing and just figure out a way to incorporate it into something else, I am just gonna put it in the fridge with the half of it. I might regret that later, but. Here we go. So I'm just gonna thin slice this. I don't like the look of that piece. That was too close to the end. It looked woody. I don't want a woody onion. This knife will give a nice precise thin slice. Like, it's such a good solid sharp knife, the Santoku. I love it. I know some people prefer working with a chef's knife, but this is just always, it's always just felt good to me. All right. And you know what? I don't think that your knife has to have like an exact purpose. I know that they are like made with a purpose in mind, but really just use the one that suits you better, because I do not enjoy using a chef's knife at all. I find them really big. Maybe I'll grow into them someday. Just don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna slice up a regular onion too, but the complete opposite of my red onion. My other onions are like the tiniest little things ever. Like, I mean, like this one was like gargantuan. And then there's these cute little guys. So I'm gonna chop the crap out of 2 of these cute little guys. And we're gonna call that a day. And actually, in my prep dish, I have a divider in there, so I just have the red onion on one side and the regular onion on the other. I'm all fancy like that. No, but really, like, both the onions can share a dish together, but they're both for different meals, so that was just an easy way to sort it. I do like these little prep bowl container things. They have the option where there's a divider, and then they have an option where there's like a thing for the leaky vegetables. You know, if you're putting some fruit in there and tends to leak a bunch of liquid and you don't want it sitting in its juices for a really long time, then the juices will go to the bottom and the fruit will stay on the top out of it and not go weird. Here we go. One more sliced onion. And always, I will encourage you, look through the recipes for this week. Just give them a quick skim and see, is this gonna be enough to feed my family? Because you might look at some of the recipes and be like, dude, that's not enough to feed my left big toe, let alone my family, in which case double that one, right? Like, make it your own. So now, one of the recipes calls for sliced pepper and sliced zucchini. I am actually going to chop these instead, because I think that's going to be better success for feeding my family the vegetables. And I feel like for this one, I'm gonna need a bigger bowl, so. Pardon me. Okay. Put that there just in case. So I am just gonna chop up the zucchini. I'm gonna chop it up really small. If this doesn't work right, because cards on the table, I'm experimenting with this right now. If it doesn't work right, I'll let you know somewhere in the thing, and I'll just be like, dude, if you're thinking of chopping this. But if you hear nothing else from me, it means this worked and my family ate it and I ate it and everybody survived. So you can either, if you wanted to cut your zucchini like kind of in half that way, and then dice it and make like little demi-moon type of things, or if you want to take my direction and just chop the crap out of them, you can do that too. But I think this is my best bet of getting toddlers to eat them. I'm just gonna... It's like the mom mission, always to just sneak the veggies in, right? I feel like this is going to be a nice bit of color too, like having the red, having the green. Very Christmas in February. Too soon? chopped zucchini. Once again, I'm going to ish it with pepper. I mean, you can never have too many vegetables, right? So there's some more. Do you guys do like a meatless day of the week? Is that a thing for you guys? I know some people do like no meat January. That seems way too long for me. But when it's a dish like say this one with quinoa, I find quinoa nice and filling, and it's actually it's a complete protein in a quinoa, which usually if you're going vegetarian you have to match proteins to make them a complete one, and in quinoa, it's actually a complete protein, so you're getting the whole kit and caboodle. Means it's a good one. Chopping. My goodness. Getting a workout. There we go. Perfect. Actually, I'm tempted to put some of that red onion in there too, because I feel like that would be really good in with the quinoa bowl, but I'm just gonna go with this and give it a go. So there's another thing of veggies just for the quinoa bowl, so that I have that ready. Okay, so if that's all you have in you, then that's all you gotta do. But if you get a little more gas in the tank, then we can keep going here. I am going to chop up romaine lettuce. I like having my lettuce already washed and chopped because I find that if I do that, I'm way more likely to use salads for a side dish. I'll never be upset with myself for having lettuce in the fridge. I'll incorporate it into other dishes. Whereas if I'm just taking it off whenever I'm using it for a meal, oftentimes I just won't have the motivation to chop that, and so I won't. So if you're anything like me, hopefully this helps. Okay. That part looks sad. It looks sad, so we're gonna throw it in the garbage with all its friends. If you guys have a science to cutting your lettuce, you're miles ahead of me. But I like just to cut it into like strips and then roughly cut it that way and then roughly cut it that way. Seems to work. Seems quick enough. You see as I'm cutting the lettuce, I'm like, you know what, maybe this is what people like a chef's knife for. Maybe it's because it's like really super long. And ew, I just stepped on a mushy piece of red pepper. That was not pleasant under my foot. Still half frozen. Yeah, anyway, if I used a chef's knife, it might be able to reach across this whole thing. And maybe that would be nice. Maybe I gotta give the chef's knife a revisit. You might see a reformed me. Keep an open mind. There we go. So I know we're gonna have salads on Thursday, but I mean, if you get inspired to make yourself a wrap or side salads for the rest of the week, like you can always just clean and do another kind of lettuce if you need to. You'll never hate yourself for eating lettuce. There we go. Lots of veggies prepped for the week. Lots of fresh things. Oh, I'm excited for this menu. I think it's gonna be good. The one last thing I'm gonna do, and the one last thing that you can do with it if you like, unless of course you have come into something else along your travels that you feel like you'd like to prep, I am going to grate a cup of Swiss cheese. So my 1 cup measure is about halfway up this. I mean, you can buy your cheese already grated. You do get better bang for your buck if you're doing it this way. Generally there's less like weird ingredients if you're just buying the block versus getting shredded. Here we go. I think that looks good. A couple more for good measure. And then I'll call that a day. Whoops. And we'll slip it right across there. My goodness. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this into, ran out of prep containers. Uh-oh. It's okay, I'll slam it with one of these. There we are. So many things prepped for the week. Now, if you want to today, if you're still kind of feeling in the groove, go to your fridge and before you do your dishes and just see if there's anything that's about to go bad, any perishables that gotta be used, and then figure out how you can incorporate some of those into these vegetables or into these recipes. Spaghetti and meat sauce, you can sneak a lot of veggies in there. Just chop them up real small and nobody will be the wiser. So if you got anything you got to use up, great way to do so. There might be a way that you can incorporate something into a side dish for your French onion chicken bake. But that way you're making the most out of the stuff that's already in your fridge. And if you can't figure out a way to use it this week, be sure to put it in the freezer. Most things will go in the freezer. If you can't figure it out, Google it, see if it'll work. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the menu this week. I hope you enjoyed your prep day and not too many dishes to do after it. So I hope this just saves you time and makes your week a little less stressful. We'll chat later. Bye-bye.